So the cover of the Millionaire Fastlane got all the right ingredients for a deliciously scammy product that makes too good to be true promises. But now that I've worked my way through it twice and all my skepticism is replaced with awe, I can say it's by far, and I mean it, the best book I've read on making a substantial amount of money, period. And if you're truly serious about becoming a millionaire one day, you should absolutely pay attention right now. The greatest takeaway I got from the book is from the parts where the author, Demarco, clarifies the difference between three types of people. Here we got the sidewalker, the slow laner, and the fast laner, and they're categorized by the way they handle their finances. Now, the sidewalkers are people who go through life without any financial planning. They seem to have little to zero control over their spending habits. They usually live from salary to salary and don't think long term. They love immediate gratification, that little high of buying new shiny items, even when they can't actually afford them. They blame everyone but themselves for their situation, and nothing catches their attention quite like a get-rich-quick scheme. And they desperately hope for that lottery ticket that will change their life. Hard work is out of the question for sidewalkers. They would rather leech off of others and take no responsibility whatsoever. I couldn't help but think this is the ultimate loser mentality. And I find it very unfortunate that sidewalkers are quite numerous in our society today. Of course, it comes as no surprise that the sidewalker's financial destination is piss-poor poverty. The slow laners, I assume most of you watching, including myself, fit this category. The slow laners are the polar opposite of the sidewalkers. They are definitely better off, but they're not taking the optimal approach as they sacrifice the best years of their life in order to live with safety and in comfort later on once they retire. In the words of MJ, and I'm paraphrasing, slow laners accept the financial plan of mediocrity and adopt a settle-for-less life view. They save money wherever they can, for example by clipping coupons for hours in order to save $15. They, quote, forsake their youth for the promise of elderly wealth or wealth in a wheelchair. After all, $100 invested a month in the stock market for 40 years will be worth $2.5 million by the time you're 70! Exclamation point. Just the other day, I read an article that started with, people were lined up for hours for a free short stack of pancakes worth $5.49. They're waiting in line for hours to get something for free that's just such a low price, and thus they value their time around $1 to $2 per hour. Probably the most frustrating thing about slow laners is that they watch every penny, but not every second, not even every 24 hours, lots of them. And I'd like to put two uncomfortable questions in the room here. I'm convinced it will do more good than bad, so here it is. What makes you so sure that you will reach retirement? What makes you so sure that you will get that deserved promotion and have a successful career? 4 years ago, I made a decision for myself. I'm not going to slave away for someone else's benefit until I die, or until I retire, have a tiny bit of fun, and then die. So the only real option for me is the fast lane. And here's where we get to the bottom of things. You are a fast laner when you make the following 4 quick changes, as MJ calls them. As a fast laner, you are an entrepreneur who creates something in which you invest time once and then continue to draw benefit from. You understand that time is your most important asset, so you dump hope as a financial plan. You don't rely on hope that the job, stock, and housing market is going to make you rich someday. Hoping for that promotion is the last thing you want to do. It's in someone else's hands if you get promoted. It's in your own hands to become a millionaire through entrepreneurship. And you make time your ally. Have patience. You're in it for the long run. You want to get rich quick, go buy a lottery ticket. Rob a bank. Actually, don't do that, alright? I didn't suggest it. That was sarcasm. This is not about speed. This is about the level of difficulty. You can get rich simply by playing it smart. Simple doesn't equal easy. And it's not only working hard, but it's working smart as well. It's a combination. Your time, especially your youth, the best years of your life are more valuable than the low to middle wage salary you're getting for depressing office cubicle get yelled at work. Millionaires invest time just as considerately as their money. Everyone is getting older and none of us are able to recover time once it's spent. And MJ also introduces us to the concept of tangible value creation. A source of income that doesn't require your existence, meaning you don't have to be present and thus trapped somewhere because that's where your job is situated. You put in the hours, set everything up, and once it goes live, it keeps going on its own. That could be a website, a book, a podcast, an invention, a music album, and so on. Basically, once you've worked for it, you switch and it keeps working for you. Very unlike slow laners working for the numerous bosses for their whole life. I mean, they can't suggest switching sides with their bosses, can they? And you quit chasing money and you start chasing needs. People don't care about what they can do for you. It doesn't mean anything to them. Why should it? People worry about what you can do for them. You haven't provided them with anything valuable. Instead of asking for everything and giving close to zero value, think, what product or service can you offer as a Fastlaner that will make people want to give you their money? Not just because they'll value your quality approach, but even out of gratitude. We're all fed up with bullshit and we don't talk about your product or service if it sucks. That's just the reality of it. You may trick us into giving you money once, but since you don't care about us and you haven't satisfied any of our needs, you can't expect to become a millionaire and you sure as hell can't expect us to trust you again. You've lost it, and your quantity approach has damaged your reputation. Those are two things a Fastlaner values a lot. Guys, there's nothing more important to me than your trust. I value integrity so much because I realize how important it is. Not just out of a strategic standpoint, but essentially from a look yourself in the mirror and know you're not a bullshitter standpoint. And a good place to start as a Fastlaner is to ask yourself, how am I going to improve people's lives? And not how am I going to buy my dream house and my dream car? Escape the ceiling and reinforce the floor. By that, MJ Demarco means, when you look at the ceiling, the potential to scale your business and profit, the closer it is, the less room you've got above your head, the less likely it is for you to make a substantial amount of revenue. How scalable is your business? How much money could you potentially make? If you're selling wine in a local bookshop, your best case scenario is way below the guy who develops a great app for the App Store that helps you find and learn about the best wines in people's local area accessible all around the world through the internet. You're free to use that idea as well. As an example, your shop could make about $100,000 to $200,000 in revenue this year, but that app could maybe make 10 times as much. But what about the reinforce the floor part? What does that mean? Well, how solid is the foundation your business is built upon? Is your plan of making it big solidly based on pitching your presentation to, say, an investor like Mark Cuban, or selling to that one big customer? Then you're really building on a very fragile ground. What if Mark doesn't like your idea? If that customer decides to buy elsewhere, your business falls apart. You don't want to lay all your eggs in one basket. You make sure to have many options so you could walk away if you don't like a deal without looking back, because you got leverage. And finally, here are the 5 key ways or commandments to evaluate a Fastlane business. Need. I want what you offer. Entry. This isn't easy. Control. No one can derail me. Scale. This is useful to many. And time. This exists on its own. And I'd like to leave you with the following words. As a Fastlaner, you condense low-intensity work life with little pay into a few high-intensity years with the potential of substantial wealth. It's not easy, but it wouldn't be worth doing otherwise. As always, thanks for watching. And subscribe in order to not miss my upcoming animated summary of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, and the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind within the next few days. Talk to you soon.